Welcome to the Brass and Woodwind Shop. This is the 6th video in the Cornet Restoration project. 2 weeks ago I got the really bad dents out of the bell, and then last week I soldered the bell onto the instrument. This Friday I'm going to remove all the rest of the dents in the instrument. There are some more dents on the bell section, and then a few on the lead pipe, and then there are also some on these two slides. I will show you the tools I will be using to get those dents out. Here are the rest of the dents on the instrument. There are several small ones on the bell flare section, and there are a few on the bell bow. There are a couple small dents on the knuckles, and then the second slide is out of round, and I'm going to have to round that out. Also, there are some dents on the curved section of the lead pipe. And on the tuning slides, there's a small dent in this one, and then the third slide has several creases in it. These are the tools I will be using to get the dents out of the instrument. I may end up using more than this, but these are the ones I know I'm going to use. For the tuning slides, I'm going to use these two tools and possibly this one. And this tool has a threaded dent ball on it, and these screw off and on onto these, and you can change the sizes. But on this one, I will probably just use the small dent ball. For the dents in the bell flare, I'm going to use mostly this tool. I may end up needing to use other tools, but we'll see how this one does first. And I'll probably also use it in conjunction with the rawhide mallet. There are no dents from here to here, and then there are some really small ones, and I'll probably end up getting those out with this tool. I'm not sure if that one will be able to reach that or not. If that one does not reach it, I will use this tool. This tool is called a dent ball holder, driver, and retriever, and the end is flexible so that it can go around the curves on the instrument. And I'm going to use that to get around from about here all the way around to here. So that will get these dents out in the crook of the bell section. There are a few small dents on this knuckle, and I'm going to use this tool. It's a threaded dent rod, and I also have a threaded dent ball that I'm going to put on the end of there, and those should take those dents out very easily. There are several small dents on the bell flare section, and I'm going to use this tool. This tool is called a dent roller, and the end of it rolls, and it helps you get the dents out very easily. And this is probably the only tool I'm going to need to get these dents out. I may also use the rawhide mallet in conjunction with that tool, and I'll see how it goes. I may need other tools, but I think this should do it. There are several small dents on the crook of the lead pipe section. I think this tool probably will not be flexible enough to get around the corners on there. So what I'm going to use instead is a dent cable. This tool is a lot more flexible, and what you do is you put the dent balls on there and then you pull the dent balls through. I'm going to use the set of 101 dent balls in conjunction with this tool and also with the dent cable. That leaves one more dent in the instrument. The second slide tube was dented on the bottom, and it has caused the slide tube to become out of round. So I'm going to use this tool here. This is called a slide expander, and rarely do I use it to expand slides, but I'm going to try to use it to round out this slide. I'm not sure if this tool alone will work. I may need to use it in conjunction with another tool. I may even use a dent ball on this. I'm not sure yet. The last tool is this magnet. It looks like a thumbtack, but it's a magnet. And that's going to help me find where the dent balls are when they're on the inside of the instrument. And starting with the two tuning slides, I'm using this dent rod. It's called a knuckle dent rod. And I'm going to chuck it into the vise. And I'm using a lead jaw so that it doesn't damage the tool. There's just one small dent on this side, so that should be easy to get out. I don't even know if you'll be able to see me get it out, but it should just take a couple seconds. Okay. There, that dent is out. And now I'm going to do the next slide. I'll put that on there. This one has 4 fairly sharp dents in it. They're not big, but they're sharp. So I'm going to find where a dent is and then push the dent out. This tool will probably not be able to reach the ones that are farther in, but it did start to get out the first one there. And now the other slide. This one has 4 fairly sharp dents in it. The tool that I'm using probably will only be able to get out the first, maybe the second one. I don't think it's going to be able to reach the other ones, but I have another tool for that. But I'm going to start with the first dent. I need to get the tool under the dent. And then try to push it out. This metal is quite hard, and it's not the easiest thing to get out. I may have to use another tool on that. It did come out a little bit though. I'm going to see if this tool can reach around to the other dents, but it probably will not be able to though. Let's see. No, it's not going to reach them. I'm going to use this tool, and I made this one specifically for the dents that are in the end of the third slide. If you want to learn more about this tool, look in the description below for a link to that video. The tool is good for reaching these dents, but you have to be careful when you use it. So I'm going to find where that dent is, and usually you can feel that where the dents are, or you can see a little raised spot on the metal. But this one, it's harder to see on this instrument because the metal is hard and thick. So I'm just going to do as good as I can. I don't think this tool is reaching that dent, so I will go back to the other tool. The dents are out most of the way, but I'm going to tap on those with a dent hammer and try to smooth those out a little bit more. This is my smallest dent hammer in my set of dent hammers, and what you do with those is you can smooth out dents. When there's a dent in an instrument, the metal is pushed in, but around the edges it comes out a bit. And what the dent hammers do is they push down the places that are higher than the dent. I'm going to tap on that, try to knock down the high spots. I got the dents out as good as I could. You can still tell a little bit that there were some dents in there. When there are sharp dents in the instrument, it's hard to get them out all the way. This is about as good as I can do it without destroying the finish and having to replate the instrument. Next I'm going to get the dents out on the bell flare, and the bell flare goes from here up to about here on the instrument, and there really aren't any dents beyond that, so I'm going to just stick with this section. Usually when you get dents out on the bell flare, you use this dent roller. This works well on most bell flare dents. There's another tool for bell flare dents, and this is called a bell flare mandrel, but I do not use this one nearly as much. A lot of times bells will get creases in them about right there, and this tool works great for that, but I do not like it for these type of dents. Some of these dents were pushed in from the outside, other ones were caused by pushing them out from the inside. When I use the roller, I'm going to use it on both sides. I'm going to use it like this, and I'm also going to use it like this. And I'm going to go back and forth as I do it. Most of the time when you get dents out of instruments, the mandrels go inside the instrument or the dent balls go inside of the instrument, and they do all the pushing from the inside, so you cannot see where they're doing their work. When you're working on the bell section, you can see both sides of the bell very easily, so you want to be careful with what you do with the metal you're working with, and that's the reason why you use a dent roller. The dent roller does a lot better job of not scratching the surface of the metal when you work on it. I'm going to start working on the dents that have been pushed out from this side. I hold on to that, and then I roll over the dent, and I'm also adjusting the pressure that I'm using to push on the dent. As I'm working this, I'm varying the pressure that I'm using. You want to use as little pressure as you can and still get the dent out. And I don't know if you can see it in the video. A lot of times it is hard to see dents in a video. I can see them when I'm working on them, but you may not be able to see them as well. And they are coming out nicely, at least most of them are. A couple of them I'm going to have to get from the other side, but I'm just going to work my way around the bell and get out the ones that are pushed in or pushed out from the inside. I got most of the dents out. There's still 3 of them that I'm going to have to touch up. I didn't get them out all the way, but I'll do that in a minute. Now I'm going to work on the bell from the other direction. Now I'm going to remove the dents that were pushed in from the outside. And again, I'm going to do pretty much the same thing. Just go around the bell and get the dents out as I come across them. Like there's one there. And see, those do not take a lot of work to get out if they're smooth dents. The sharper ones like these, they're going to be a little harder to get out. Okay, looks like I got most of them out. I think all I need to do now is touch up these 3 dents. What I'm going to do is put this on the roller and get it right underneath the dent and then tap it with the rawhide mallet. Then when I'm done tapping, I'm going to roll it a little more. And let's see how that looks. You can still tell that the dent was there because it is a sharper dent, but it is smoothed out most of the way. So I'm going to move on to the next one. And I'll do that one the same way. Make sure that it's on top of the roller. And then I'll push it from the other side too. Okay. I think that one is good. I got out all the dents I can get out with the dent roller. I did notice that there are a couple right on the edge, right there. Those dents are hard to get with a dent roller because of the way that the bell rim is, and there's another way you can do that. This tool is called a burnisher, and it has a smooth, hard surface. This burnisher can get right up to the bell rim, so I'm going to use that to push the dent out. I'm going to take the burnisher and put it on the bottom side of the bell. Then I'm going to push with both hands and get under the dent and push the dent out. I got the dents out of the bell. It looks a little tarnished right now, but after I polish the bell, it will look a lot better. Now I've gotten all the dents out from here all the way to here on the instrument. Now I'm going to remove the dents in the bell bow. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about how to remove these dents, but if you want more information, look in the description below for a link to the video about how to remove trumpet bell bow dents. I'm going to use this tool in conjunction with the dent balls. There are 101 dent balls, and they go from 1/4 inch to 3/4 inch in 5/1000ths of an inch increments. So what you do is you put the dent ball on this tool, and then you push it past the dent, and then you expand the dent 5/1000ths of an inch at a time. I'm going to start with a smaller dent ball, which should make it past this dent. If it does not, then I'll just put a smaller dent ball on. A lot of this is just trial and error. You put the dent ball in, and then you get the dent out a little bit, and then you just keep going. And the magnet helps you find where the dent is. Okay, the dent ball made it to here, and the dent is right here, so it made it past the dent. So I'm going to get a larger dent ball. So now I'm going to push the dent ball through again, and yep, it made it past the dent again. So now I'm just going to go up about 5/1000ths of an inch at a time. Sometimes you can skip dent balls and go up 2 or 3 sizes, but I'm going to keep going up just one dent ball at a time. It's probably only about 10 minutes later, and I finished getting all the dents out of the bell bow. I started with this dent ball, and then I went up, I think it's about 16 sizes to this dent ball, and then the dents were all out. Now all the dents that are left are a couple in this knuckle and several in the lead pipe bow. The tool I'm going to use first is the threaded trumpet lead pipe mandrel, and I put one of the dent balls on there. I can get these dents out going through this tube. Then I'm going to get as many dents out as I can on this crook going through the receiver. I should be able to get a couple of those dents out. And then going through this tube, I should be able to get a few more dents out. The dents that are left, I'm going to get out with the dent cable, and this works pretty much the same as this tool. The only difference is this one can go around a lot tighter bends. Right now I'm going to use this tool to get as many dents out as I can. I put this mandrel in the vise, and I'm going to get the dents out through this tuning slide tube, and these should come out very easily, yes. Usually knuckle dents are some of the easiest dents to get out. Okay, that one's about done. Now I need to change the dent ball. I'm going to put a smaller one on there. Now I'm going to go through the receiver and get as many dents out as I can. Okay, yep. This metal is very hard, but the dents are coming out. I got out all the dents I could with this tool. Now I'm going to use the dent cable for the rest of them. The way that the dent cable works is there are two different sections, and you take one of the sections and put it through the tube, and you push it through until it comes out the other end. There we go. And you put the dent ball on there, and you screw the other end onto it. Here's the one section of dent cable, then the dent ball, and then the other section of dent cable. The dent cable only works on sections that are tapered, and this is larger than this, so I put a dent ball on, and I'm going to try to find a dent ball that will make it up to here, and then I'm going to keep putting a larger and larger dent ball on. Once I keep putting larger dent balls in, they're not going to go in quite as far, and they should push the dents out as they are pulled in. I'm going to pull on this dent cable, and it's going to pull the dent ball into the cornet. I'm going to step on the handle on one side of this and pull it through, and I'm going to see how far it went in. And it went up to there, so I can use a little bit larger dent ball. Now to pull it out, I'm going to step on the other handle and carefully pull. I don't want to damage anything. Now I'm going to unscrew the one dent cable and then change the dent ball. Go up a size or two. I think I'm going to go up 2 sizes. Put that on there and screw the dent cable back on. Okay, its dent ball is right there. Maybe I should have only gone up one side. Oh, there we go. It went through. Now I'm going to keep moving up one dent ball size at a time until all these dents are out. I got the dents out as good as I could, and again there are still some marks there. You never get dents out perfectly. The only way to get it perfect is to sand this down with sandpaper and then replate everything. But I'm not going to replate this instrument because the finish is in too good of shape, and I'd rather leave the original finish there. And I can live with these tiny little dents in this. Now there's just one more dent to get out, and that's this second slide dent. The second slide is not round, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use what's called a slide expander, but I'm not going to use it to expand the slide as much as I'm going to use it to try to round out the slide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten that up a little bit and work that around. I'm just going to do that a few times and then check on this. Let's see, it's still too tight, so I'm going to do that again. I'm going to be careful not to expand the side, but to just turn it into a round side again like it used to be. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to tighten it up a little more this time. I got the dent out of the tuning slide, so all the dents are out of this cornet. Next Friday I'm going to chem clean, polish, and put the instrument back together, and it should be done and ready to play. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more band instrument repair videos.